Jesse yesterday and he revealed that you're on the big bucks. Is it nice to have your wage being revealed by the captain?
I guess it's all relative, I guess, you know. So, yeah, thanks, Jesse.
How do you prepare this week? You've had a long time to prepare for this game.
Yep.
So, and you're in good nick rolling. So what's been the focus points?
Yeah, look, just to keep incrementally getting better. Like we're certainly performing better, but there's areas, you know, like our D-trans, rebounding, keep sharing the ball like we are, those things, although they only seem small, if you can minimize the amount of times you don't do that, you're going to put yourself in good shape, and then just not getting carried away with yourself just because we won 3 games.
So never as high, never as low, we hear that all the time. Has that been what you've been able to keep this group pretty level on?
Yeah, look, I do use that verbiage, but I'm more about us just continuing to grow and get better as a team, because although, like when we were losing, I always said we can keep getting better, we're doing the right things. The same thing when we're winning. We need to keep tracking forward as opposed to getting caught up in the record and the scoreboard.
Where do you put the consistency piece kind of down to? I mean, young teams typically have the inconsistent sort of performances. Is that sort of relevant to your team, or do you think that it's more now that you've had a bit more time together as a unit that you're sort of seeing, I guess, the connection piece come to fruition?
Yeah, look, I think the connection piece is probably the most important thing. Guys feeling comfortable with their other teammates out on the floor. The rotations are a little better. You know, and we're playing better, we're making shots, so we're playing with a good energy about ourselves right now.
Bryce Cotton himself said, didn't know who the other guy
Yep.
was, you know, and now what would you put his kind of return to form down to?
Like, what I would say is a professional at a high level like he is, you have your own respect of how you want to play the game, and when you go through something that doesn't happen too often, the fight, you're just wanting to fight that fight and get out of it quicker. I think he's found a balance of the rhythm, and his teammates have done a better job. So it was just a culmination of everything, but also he was never going to keep playing at that level. Like, it was only a matter of time for him to get back to himself.
Does Pinder have a bit of pep in his step and ready to face the old team?
Yeah, look, always looking forward to playing against your own old team. Adam Fordy showed a lot of faith in him. He was rewarded with that in his play over the last couple of years. So I'm sure those two guys will want to have a great contest against each other.
Are you nervous at all? Like, the relationship that he had with Kent was really special.
Yeah.
It changed his career and his livelihood. So
Yeah.
Is he a bit nervous about going up against them?
Look, I think for us, we were fortunate enough to play them at the Blitz. So to get those first-time emotions that are attached with that, I think he got that out. Now, we're playing for keeps this time around, so I'm sure there will be hopefully a positive nervous energy about him going into this game.
Have you talked to him a bit about that, given you moved around a bit when you were playing as well?
Look, I just talked to him about like his consistent effort and the things that he can do to control that emotion. You know, sometimes guys try and go outside of what they are, where the way that he plays and the energy that he plays with, like, he can just accumulate his value in a game. Rebounding, the passing that he's been doing of late is phenomenal. So he can get himself involved in the game a lot of ways without just being measured by points.
Tight ends in general, just a comment on them?
Yeah, look, they're youthful exuberance. If they get out in the open floor, they're very dangerous. We've got to control their three-point shooting. And then obviously keep rebounding at the rate we have been over the last couple weeks. But yeah, D-trans and just their youthful exuberance are key for us.
Talked a bit in recent weeks about the coaching fraternity. Mm-hmm. Lost one yesterday. Have you reached out to Jacob? Do you have much of a relationship with him at all?
Yeah, that was my Olympic roommate, so I have a very good relationship with Jacob. So it's always disappointing when something like that happens. And when I got the news, there is a sadness about yourself and like also the reality of the industry that we're in.
It's a pretty brutal way to live. When you have those sorts of things happening within your own industry, does it rock the coaching group when that sort of stuff happens?
Like it does. Like I'm sure as an individual, it depends on how you look at it. But the minute I got the news, like, it's a reality check of the industry, and you know, we're paid to win games.
Health-wise, Jesse sort of indicated that Corey Webster might have been struggling with a little bit of stuff recently. Can you talk us through
The word they use these days is load management, I believe. So, like you saw, Corey was practicing today. We're very mindful of the stage of his career, and we need him to perform tomorrow night, not on a Tuesday.
It does seem strange from the outside looking. He hasn't had a lot of minutes like they have from the load management. So has he been not playing much because he's been carrying anything, or is that load management got nothing to do with an injury that just hasn't been put on court because he's been playing well?
Like everything's, you know, in what you've said, everything has validity. And in my time here, if a group on the floor is playing well, that's who I'm going to go with. In the last couple of games, those guys on the floor have played well. Like Ty last game played, I think, 31 minutes. That's by far the most he's played in a while for us. He kept himself out of foul trouble, and he was like performing very well on the floor. So then that eats into someone else's opportunity. So like I mentioned yesterday, Corey's going to be very valuable for this team, especially if we're going to reach a championship level. He will have his moments for us this season.
Do you have everyone to select from?
Yes. Yeah, everyone's healthy.
Cool.
Yep.